Hi guys, Gina here and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. So today I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about what my life has been like without a Facebook and an Instagram. So back in the summer, I want to say it was maybe, I want to say it was around August. I think it was August. I deleted my Facebook and my Instagram account. So there was a lot of stuff that was happening like behind the scenes during that time. And I was just emotionally not well. So I decided to just go ahead and delete my Facebook and Instagram. And this was something that I knew I needed to be doing because let's be honest, like I had an addiction to social media. I had an addiction to Facebook. I had an addiction to Instagram. Like I always had my phone next to me. I always needed to refresh and check my likes and my comments and to see like what everyone was saying or how many people are following me that day and stuff like that. Like that literally was my life for the longest time. Ever since I joined like MySpace, it's been like this whole like, social media, like that's so important, is to post a photo and to see like who's gonna like it on Facebook or Instagram, or people that like you don't even know personally. So that was my life. And I just cut it cold turkey. I literally deleted all my accounts. I even had my husband first change the passwords on everything. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I don't need this. We need to go ahead and just cut it off. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys how my life's been like without social media. So here's the honest truth, you guys. I'm just fine. I am just fine without my Instagram and my Facebook because I'm not in a fear of missing out, because the connections I have in my life, like with my mom and my dad and my brother and my sister and my very best friends, like we stay connected just through talking with each other. So I have a very healthy relationship with people who are in my my smaller circle in my life, and they stay up to date. So I have a photo sharing app. Well, it's not an app, but if you have Apple Photo or whatever, you can do like a shared album. So I have Chris's grandmother. Chris is my husband, so I have his grandmother hooked up to that. I also have his cousin and his aunt, so I can share some photos. I'm frequently sending photos to Nicole Burgess and my best friend Brittany, and I'm always sending photos to designer Jen. Like I just share back and forth. So in terms of people like seeing like my family, my kids, like I share that with them for me personally. And I feel like that is better because let's be honest, like looking from like our kids' standpoint, like us as parents and grandparents or whoever you are, you're putting your kids like photos out there for like everyone in your network to see. Like you're putting their, bath photos. Now, I don't know if you guys are putting their bath photos. You're sharing their, first tooth photo, or you're sharing like a meltdown, or when they do something dumb, like you're snapping a photo and then sharing it on the internet. Like you're not getting their permission to do that. So when I think to myself, like, wow, like what am I doing as a mom by sharing, some of Scarlett's, embarrassing moments and then making a funny caption with an emoji and thinking that that's funny. Like, I just didn't think, for me as a mom, I just didn't think it was appropriate for me to be sharing those like intimate things of our family with complete strangers. Because at the time that I had deleted my Instagram, I had like 5,000, 6,000 followers. Like I didn't know all those people. Like they were coming in and following me. And at that time, I thought the goal was to get as many Instagram followers as possible because I was trying to get to the swipe up feature. I was like, okay, I got to do that so I can swipe up. But I didn't know like any of them. So I'm exposing my kids to this and putting my kids' photos out there and putting, things about Chris and I. And I just don't think it's appropriate. So, but that's just me. Of thinking that it's just not an appropriate way to be sharing things about your kids and your husband. So something else that steered me away from wanting to get off of Facebook and Instagram is the fact that by nature, like I would compare myself. Like I don't think that it's human nature to compare yourself to you know, this person and this person. I feel like that's just human nature. You're going to compare yourself. You're going to compare your body. You're going to compare, oh, am I pretty enough? In the couponing world, it's so easy to compare, you know, your following, your deal, this and that. And it just wasn't healthy for me anymore to be in this constant state of competition, this constant state of, oh, I need to one up someone. It just wasn't good for me. So when I see that something, a behavior or something in my life is causing me to stumble, like, it's just gotta go. So for me, that was Facebook and Instagram, because I would constantly be, you know, refreshing and seeing everyone's feed. And then at the end of it, it was making me feel like I was like a loser and like nothing and nobody. Like, I would leave feeling that way. So this is another reason why I wanted to step away from social media. Is I feel like the portrayal of the perfect family and like the perfect mom and the perfect wife is like all over Facebook and Instagram. But honestly, the real truth is, like, as moms, like, we're not showing ourselves like completely just over the day, like crying on the couch. Like, that has happened to me so many times. Like, how many of you can sit there and say, oh, I've had such a terrible day with my kids. They were being a bunch of jackasses to me, and they weren't listening, and they were just screaming going on in the house, and like, you just wanted to like curl up in a ball and cry. Like, that has been me so many times, or I've just been so over the day, but then I'm still trying to, like, you know, show a great photo of my kids, like, hey, look, my kids are better than your kids. Like, I just don't like the unrealistic I guess, image that comes along with family and relationships and stuff like that. So, and then leading into, you know, sharing, you know, intimate things about your relationship, like sharing a photo of you and your boyfriend kissing each other, or your husband, you and your husband, like in the honeymoon suite, or whatever it is, like just oversharing things that I just don't think is appropriate for like the whole entire world to see. Like, I feel like those intimate, like, times need to just be kept with you and your significant other. Like, I don't think it needs to be, you know, portrayed all over social media. So I have, and I was guilty of that. Like, every anniversary, I felt like, oh, I got to share a picture of my wedding photo, even though I don't look like I did on my wedding day anymore. It's like, oh, look at me when I was skinny, like in my wedding dress, and yay, before kids, we were just beaming and happy, which we are happy. If you're a parent out there, you know what I mean. When you switch the phase of being newlyweds to being, you know, married with 3 kids, like, there's a huge difference from those 2 stages of life. So don't get me wrong. I love my kids. I love my husband. I wouldn't trade my life for anything, but sometimes I'm human and I just like reflect back of, oh, I remember when I was single, I could do whatever I wanted. Like, I could go to Pier 1, like, no problem. I'll go to Pier 1 and I can be out as late as I want to. Not anymore. Like, I have 3 kids. I can't be out as late as I want to because my kids need their mom the next day. And another reason why I needed to get off social media is because it was just putting too much time was being spent on Facebook and Instagram. So anytime I was idle, I would always be scrolling. Like, that's how much I would just be on Facebook and Instagram so much. And that's just not something you need to be doing in your day. So now that I've freed up some time, I'm actually able to, you know, keep a good handle on the housekeeping in my house. Like, my house is relatively clean pretty much every single day. I'm usually on top of my laundry, meaning I put a load in, dry it, and then immediately fold it. Like, there's no more like piles of laundry. I have more time to cook. I have more time to really spend with family when they do come over because I'm not glued to my phone. So, something else that I found not being on social media, meaning Instagram and Facebook, is I'm able to be in the moment more when I'm not trying to capture the moment, because you can't multitask when it comes to, you know, your son's first time to Disneyland. Like, we took the kids to Disney in December, and it was Tanner's first time at Disney. And I was really, for the first time, able to really soak that in, because prior to that, anytime we would go to Disney for the first time, it was always hashtag first Disney trip. Like, I was always trying to capture everything and update social media. but I wasn't really enjoying it. And same thing would go into like birthday parties. I would be more consumed about, oh, I need to get the photos for the gram, and not really enjoying it. So this has been what my life has been like without Instagram and Facebook. And I have so many people that ask me all the time, Gina, are you gonna hop back on Instagram and Facebook? No, I'm not. There was a brief time when I thought that I would, but honestly, you guys, with everything that I mentioned to you guys, I just don't have a healthy relationship with it. Like, I don't have the self-control for it. And if I know I stumble in an area, like, I just got to cut it out. It's similar to, you know, if you struggle with substance abuse, or you have like a internet addiction to, like, you know, pornographic stuff or something. Like, if you know your weakness, you got to cut it out. Otherwise you're going to stumble. And I know my weaknesses. I know that my evils, I know my struggles, I know my weaknesses, and I know that the Lord tells me to cut out what causes me to stumble, and social media just brings out the worst in me. So I don't like the person I am when I am consumed in social media. So I have been a much happier version of myself. Even you guys have mentioned to me so many times in videos, and you guys send me cards and everything like that, and you just told me, you know, you can just see a genuine happier me. And I honestly feel that way, of not having to, you know, be so dependent on something that is, honestly, we're not going to take Facebook and Instagram. We're not going to take Facebook and Instagram to, you know, heaven with us. Like, we're not going to check in when we, you know, land in heaven and check in, I'm in heaven. Like, social media is going to be gone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have all been on the borderline of maybe wanting to delete your social medias, maybe start small and maybe just delete the app from your home screen, or maybe sign out of it. I'm lazy by nature, so anytime I'm like not signed into something and then I have to go and sign in, like, I will just like not do it. So maybe just start small. I even watched a documentary with Chris a few days ago. It was called Public Figure, so definitely look it up. I think you can watch it on YouTube. I think you can rent it for like $2.99, but it's a really interesting documentary. So I hope you guys found this video encouraging. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, because I would love to have a healthy conversation down below, but let's keep it nice. And that's all. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Make sure you click that red subscribe button so you are updated on all of my videos in the new year. I'm so excited for 2020, and I know it's going to be a fantastic year. So I will talk to you guys all later. Bye, guys.